Hello, my name is Bianca of BiancaRoberts.com. And the subject of today's video is the good, the bad, and the ugly of apartment locating. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. So let's get right into it. If you've never been to my channel before, hello, my name is Bianca of BiancaRoberts.com, and I have been making a series about the apartment locating niche in real estate. I've been a licensed real estate agent in Texas for the last 17 years. So anything that I am sharing with you is some of it will be cautionary tales about stuff that I've done wrong to kind of help you if you're new to real estate and you really don't know what you want to do in real estate. Maybe you're studying to get your license right now and you're in school and you're trying to figure out what you can do with your license. So I have done everything from being a regular smuggler real estate agent, like most people know from watching shows on HGTV. I call that being a generalist. So when I first started in real estate, I was just like everyone else. I was a generalist. I signed up with Keller Williams, and that was the very first broker that I chose. Before I get into the good, the bad, and the ugly of what I've done with my apartment locating business over the last 60 days, I just want to tell you a little bit more about me. These kind of stories I want to tell you because a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to get my real estate license. I'm going to tell everybody that I know that I'm a real estate agent, and then I'm going to be rolling in the dough. And so these stories of what people do in between real estate, in between their goal of making it full time, I think it's my responsibility as like what I would call an old head in the business to kind of share with you that it's not all peaches and cream. It takes a long time for some people to go full time, and you will find yourself being creative if you're somebody like myself with trying to just earn money in the business. So I have sold millions of dollars in real estate for a builder. I have worked for a builder in their closing department. I was responsible for basically getting 900 to 1,000 homes closed per year. Every contract document went through me. Every piece of paper that a lender needed went through me. I have done a lot in real estate. So what I'm sharing with you is not theory. What I'm sharing with you is not excitement just because I'm doing a specific niche now called apartment locating. I just want you to know that I've gone through the bumps and bruises. I have sat in a cold open house on a Friday with a folding chair waiting for somebody to come into my open house. I have done it all. And of everything I've done so far, before again I get into the ugly, I had to tell you all of that stuff because even with all the challenges that I've already experienced in my first 60 days of apartment locating, I can tell you this: I love it. I love it. So let me get into some of the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the first thing I guess you can call it is a con, or the ugly, is the volume. I am extremely interested and extremely well versed, I should say, in internet marketing. So I knew when I put my internet marketing hat on that I was going to be able to really light a fire under my business very quickly. I didn't anticipate quite as much activity as I have. I will insert some of my screenshots from some of my videos that have gone viral, so to speak, on TikTok. The very first thing I did wrong was not anticipating the volume of people that would reach out to me. So that is what I call a con, I guess. Now, that being said, I had to quickly adopt a system to get people from my inbox on my email to literally sitting down with me for 15 minutes to have a consultation. Now, another thing that is related to the, I guess, negative of the volume is this. There have been people who have used my service, who I have sent out an apartment list to, who have gotten approved, who are already on their way to moving into their apartments, and I don't even know who they are. I'm missing probably thousands worth of referral fees or commissions because of the volume and me not having my system set up for outreach. And the reason that's important is because what people will assume when working with you as an apartment locator, they will assume that because they wrote your name down on the guest card, because they put your name down on the application for the apartments, they just happen to assume that those apartments are just automatically going to cut you a check or send you a check. It does not work like that. But most likely, if you partner with a company that is specializing in apartment locating, they will have an accounting department that will follow up on those invoices or on those commissions that you are owed. Again, I'm giving you the real deal Holyfield about how this particular part of the business works. My broker requires one piece of paper to be signed by the apartments in order for me to get my commission. If I have to call a leasing office every day, every 5 minutes, I don't really have any problems with that. Once that form is signed, then my broker does the rest. Another con, I guess you could call it, is that people will reach out to you and they're already working with an apartment locator, or they've kind of registered with another apartment locator. But that is the nature of real estate, period. I don't want to scare you. I don't want you to feel like, well, this is crap. But let's be honest. Buyers are not loyal. Sellers are not loyal. Apartment locating clients are not loyal. Even though I would truly like to believe that all people are loyal to you and they really, truly in their hearts want to work with you, the bottom line is this. The age that we live in, people want what they want as quickly as possible. So if you are taking too long in their eyes, they are going to use someone else. I have talked to several people who've gotten on a call with me, who want information from me and who want to work with me, but they have already been registered by another apartment locator. But here's the kicker about this that I, again, freaking love, is that the software that I use actually gives me a bright yellow pop-up, and it tells me this particular client has already registered with another apartment locator. My mind was blown when I saw this with the apartment locating software. And the reason why my mind is blown is because I don't know of anything like that in regular schmegular real estate, where you can type in a client's name, phone, and email address, and you get a pop-up showing you that they've already worked with someone else. That in itself is worth the cost of the apartment locating software that I use. So another pro, or one in the good bucket in terms of my state, is my broker does not require me to pay MLS fees because I'm specifically an apartment locator. But most brokerages will require that you become a member of the MLS. That means there are fees associated with becoming a member of the MLS. But if I am an apartment locator, I do not need access to the local MLS because the local MLS has nothing to do with apartments. That in itself is a plus because I don't have to pay those board fees. I highly recommend, if you're interested in the apartment locating niche, to sign with a broker who only focuses on apartment locating. So, for example, what I mean by this is Keller Williams or Remax. Just say you signed up with Keller Williams or Remax. You could probably be an apartment locator and kind of supplement your income, so to speak, in between working with buyers and sellers. But the problem in my eyes where that comes in is you as the individual agent, if you're not assigned with a company that specifically focuses on apartment locating, they're not going to help you collect your money on your invoices. They're not going to be your big worm to get the money from the apartments. They're not going to have a list like my office has of companies that we think are reputable, who treat clients well, who also pay their commissions on time. We get together in my particular office because we only focus on apartment locating. We talk about the industry, we talk about the rents, we talk about what management companies have changed. We talk about the companies that don't pay on time. We talk about the companies that are not nice to apartment locators. There is an energy and a synergy from being around people who are only focused on one thing. It's hard to split your mind between working as a buyer's agent and a seller's representative, for example, and also trying to use apartment locating to supplement your income. Something is going to fall down by the wayside. So that's why I recommend that you go with a broker who specifically says they focus on apartment locating. I have implemented using a CRM. Now, a CRM is a customer relationship manager. I was using a CRM for a totally different business before I decided to go into apartment locating. I highly recommend it. I'm going to put a link below to the CRM that I use. Y'all, the devil is busy. The sky is opened up, the electricity went out, and then it's back on. And all because I'm trying to help y'all. I'm trying to share with you what I know. You hear that thunder? So I'm going to try to wrap this up. But overall, I am in love with it. Again, I have done so many pieces of the business. I have a huge philosophy on how you should start your business if you're starting into apartment locating, how you can get it off the ground, not make some of the mistakes I did, light your business on fire, and then everybody in the country wants to connect with you. Because I set my business on fire so quickly, everybody and their mama wanted to connect with me to help them find an apartment. Once I set up the calendar appointments, it really smoothed out and it leveled things out. However, what I found was that people are not respectful of my time. Meaning, folks, I'm not the one setting up the appointments for them. They set the time and the date that works for them, which again is another super big positive in my eyes because I set up my calendar based upon the days that I want to talk to clients and the days that I can work around picking my kids up from school, all of that. Super, super love it. Because again, 98% of this is done from home. I am not getting in a car in the rain as we speak, getting wet to go show somebody a house that I have to turn around and make 17 offers on a house for them to even get one in the first place. I'm not in the heat, sweating my butt off, putting signs in a yard or putting signs on the corner. Whoo, child, don't let me go on and on about that part of the business. But I think it's a positive that people were able to set up a calendar appointment with me, get on my calendar, talk with me for 15 minutes, and then I go on my computer and try to find them apartments that match what they want. One of the other negatives is the number of people who have set up appointments and they don't even show up. 5 minutes of time is what I allow people to get on the call. After 5 minutes, if they have not popped on the call, I disconnect and I move on. There are some days that I have way more appointments than I anticipated. So if you multiply 5 minutes, for example, by 10 appointments, you could conceivably have a day where you're sitting at your computer for 50 minutes, 50, and nobody shows up. Some people would be like, that's a negative. But let me tell you, I will take that any day, sitting in front of my computer for 5 minutes and nobody showing up. The reason why I would take that any day, again, is because I've already been battered, bruised, and beaten up by real estate. I don't want you to feel, if you feel like you've been bamboozled or hoodwinked and you're like, nobody told me that real estate was going to be like this. You might feel, because you're on this video, that no one told you how hard it was. No one told you how many leads that you were going to need to be able to drum up for yourself. Nobody told you about the amount of fees that you pay, whether you make a sale or not. I do not want you to feel bad if you feel let down by the industry. I don't want you to feel bad if you have sat your license on the shelf and decided you don't want to do it anymore. If you happen to stumble upon this video and you are just overjoyed that you found it, you have now maybe decided this is something that you want to do with your license. Congratulations. I just know what it feels like to be in a situation where you think to yourself, I did all the stuff right. I went to school, I got my license, I passed the test, I did all of that. And then it's like the bubble burst when you start going through the transactions. I have had new construction homes where I have sold one particular house 4, 5, and 6 times. Did I share that on my social media? Of course not, because most people want to see the highlights. But I just want to help you know that if you feel a little dejected, if you feel a little confused, if you feel that you wasted your time in real estate, there are so many things that you could do in real estate beside being a generalist. You are going to hear me say this over and over again. I think far too many people are generalists. A generalist is just that person. I sell real estate. If you know anyone who wants to buy or sell a home, there are far, far too many generalists. So you don't have to be an apartment locator, but try to figure out something that lights you up, something that makes you happy about the business instead of feeling dejected. So if you want to get on my calendar, go ahead and click the link below. I'll put a lot of information about my CRM. I'll put a lot of information about my calendar if you want to have 15 minutes with me. And if you like this content, please like, comment below, give me your feedback. Let me know that you want to see more stuff like this, and I will continue to do this for you. Thank you for visiting, and I will see you next time.